Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Fireside Chat with the boys for another Sunday evening here. We see the chat rooms filling up. We appreciate all of you being here each and every Sunday evening with us. And we do have our special guest in here tonight, Mr. McStache. We're going to do an introduction. We're just going to briefly say who you are, give a clap.
Welcome aboard, man.
Talk about each of your channels real quickly, and then we'll move on to some questions. So, good evening, Mr. McStache, and we'll let you take it away for an intro. Each of your channels real quickly, and then we'll move on.
It happened again.
It happened again. Good evening.
I'm good.
It was the new guy. Go figure, huh? I'm Mr. McStache. I only have one channel. It's called Mr. McStache. Actually, that's all it is. I say motorcycle meanderings, but because that's kind of what it is, just me on a motorcycle meandering. But channel's just Mr. McStache. I've been at this a little bit over a year. When I first got into it, I found HDR and Bodine 52 and John Maxwell and some guy in Cleveland I was following. Then I caught hints of Bronco Ride saying something about a get together. And that ended up being the West Virginia Hootenanny that we all went to. And that was shortly after that, I released my first actual vlog type video, and it's got over 2 million views now.
2 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really good. And then just to clarify, it's a turning point of me. It was the West Virginia Motovlogger and Sub Meetup. The Hootenanny belonged to a guy by the name of Mike Gilly 7. So we don't get those confused.
Okay.
I can't have name infringement because he will sue me because I don't wear all the gear all the time.
Right.
All right, Bodine, we'll let you take it away.
Yeah, I am Bodine 52, Mr. McStache. Welcome. I couldn't find my Mr. McStache T-shirt, or I would have that on. So, but welcome. So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Bodine. I go by Bob, and because Mr. McStache is from that four-letter word Ohio, I decided to wear my Michigan hat today. So I ride a 2018 Ultra, and I have a 2000 Road King as well. And welcome, brother. Glad to have you here. Let's have some fun.
McStache, welcome. You definitely have the beard game going. You know, I don't.
I can send you some McStache seeds. You plant them strategically, and
I had a year. I think I went through a year where I had the big goatee going, but then I shaved it off. So, but very envious. Yeah, Jack. Ooh, beard game. My name is Colin. I go by Bronco Ride on YouTube, and I ride a 2017 Street Glide Special. I'm really glad to be here, and McStache, glad you're here as well.
Thank you, sir.
And once again, for me, Mr. McStache, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know I approached you about a week ago. We had a little bit of confusion on communications, but that does happen, man. Whatever, but that's fine.
Anytime I'm involved, there's confusion. Ask me.
Hey, we all have that. But everybody, I am Harley Day Rider, your good old friend HDR. I ride a 2018 Road Glide Ultra, and still enjoying the bike. I know we had a lot of discussion with my YouTube family about trading it, selling it, buying something new, but we have not done that.
You will.
And Bodine's shaking his head because his and my bike, if you've seen them on the meetup the Fireside Chat with the boys get together, our bikes match a little bit. I think Colin will attest to that.
I know, it was so cute. You guys are holding hands to the hotel. It was quite nice.
Yeah, if you buy another bike, I'm breaking up with you.
I'll say it's a romance, ain't it?
It is. That's what Mrs. HDR would call it. So, folks, tonight we're going to start with something a little bit different. I was talking to the guys this morning, as we do a lot, chit-chat back and forth. And we came up with an idea this week. We want to ask you, the viewer, people in the chat room, a question. So this first question goes out to everyone out there. Hopefully everybody can see that. If you throw it in the chat, tell me if you can see it. But we were chatting this morning. We want to start this week off with a question for the chat room. What types of topics would you like to see coming from our channels? And our channels post on all of our channels, and Mr. McStache as well, since he's in the group tonight, he gets involved with this question. and let us know what you want to see coming out of our YouTube channels. I think it would help us guys, right? Help entertain more.
Is there anything off limits, HDR, like diapers or like
You had to throw it in.
riding underwear or anything like that?
No matter what, you had to throw that in.
Stuff like sitting on your bike nude in your garage. Yeah, we can't do that topic.
What's wrong with that?
Well, Colin might, because he has that chest for it, you know. I'm just saying.
Nice.
All right, tonight's questions as normal when it comes out of my camp here, my camp being my office. The guys don't know what's coming up. So they usually love it. It's a love-hate relationship. Mr. McStache, we have 3 that we are directing directly towards you, and we have 3 that's going to be for everybody. So let's go ahead and get started with the first one, guys. Again, this will go to Mr. McStache, Bodine 52, and then Colin. I feel like I'm on one of those game shows. What was that game show with the squares where everybody sat in the squares? Hollywood Squares. Here we go with the first question of the evening. You have been to a motorcycle rally. What do you like the most?
The fact that I don't go anymore.
And why would that be? Can you elaborate?
Well, motorcycle rallies, you see it on TV and it is what you see. There is drinking in massive quantities. There is nudity in massive quantities. And therein lies the problem, is because those that are nude have massive quantities, not what you want to see. At bike rallies, and I would say we probably have one of the best around me here, the Chillicothe, Ohio Finals Rodeo or whatever it is. Oh my goodness. You cannot unsee this stuff. It's fun. We had a blast. I'm not kidding. I went 4 years in a row, and it was during my drinking days, and I had a blast. But some of that stuff you can't unsee. And yeah. Husband and wife running around together, both wearing chaps and thongs, and that's it. Neither one of them should have been wearing chaps, let alone, yeah.
Like a belly shirt for the unappreciative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jack, there's a ton of these. I'm trying to write them all down, all these topics, man. We got like 10.
They're blowing it up.
Whoa, slow down.
I'll talk slow, Colin. Hey,
please do.
Can we take a pause so I can go get rid of my chaps now that I've been wearing to the bike rides?
I'm wearing them right now.
I'm worried more about your thong.
Does that get caught in the chat? Never mind. You know what? I will tell you, and I know Payne's Rides is here. Hey, brother. Made the comment you see when you see them all. Honestly, I just like looking at the bikes. I mean, I think the environment during the day usually probably isn't too bad. I remember going to Bike Week a couple years ago, and during the day, and maybe even up till 7 or 8 o'clock, it wasn't too bad, and it gets a little crazy, especially when you're with your bride at night. But I still like going to them. I don't know if we're ever going to go again. It doesn't feel like it, but I know a lot of folks are down at Sturgis right now, and I would assume that they would stop what they were doing beyond, but apparently not. So
I want to go to one. I've actually never been to a rally. Now, I've done a lot of group rides, but I've never actually gone to. Well, I mean, if I wouldn't call it a rally, but we did the Ride to the Wall, Rolling Thunder. I've done that 4 or 5 times. I wouldn't. That's definitely not a rally, but it's a great meeting time where there's thousands and thousands of bikes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was awesome. Unfortunately, they stopped it last year, but I think they moved it up north by you guys. But anyway, I would actually love to go to a rally. One day I would like to go to Sturgis just as a, bucket list type thing, just to have fun. I mean, again, I get it. There's going to be some raunchy things going on, but we're all adults. We all make good decisions. And well, most of us do. Right, Bob? He didn't say anything. It's not.
He's letting it sink in.
He's letting it sink in.
Letting it sink in.
We've
We've probably been to, I think of it, maybe 3 or 4 rallies. Miss ACR does say that, like Payne's Ride said, is once you've seen one, you've seen them all. It's usually the same vendors. They travel in that, I call it the motorcycle circuit. So they travel together in their little band of wagons. sell the same stuff everywhere. And Mrs. Shore would tell you that boobs do not sell beer. And I said, I have to beg to differ that one because they sell a lot of beer.
They
And,
sell beer.
a lot of boob shots. And I don't mean pictures of their boobs. I mean actually having a shot off of boobs. So, which, whatever. But, and Bob, I don't know. I mean, I don't know where the rallies are. I think a lot of them have been prematurely shut down. Sturgis, I was watching the live shots last night. If you follow my Instagram, and they are having a blast. So,
Yep. I was watching that before we jumped on.
yeah, it's really cool stuff. All right, guys. Now we're going to move on to I got to read these, make sure I wrote them properly so Mr. McStache can read my grammar. Okay, here you go. This is a good one for you. Directed just to Mr. McStache.
Oh, that's yeah. Actually, we used to go to DC. We went 10 years in a row to DC.
Wow.
Loved it so much. We had a group we traveled with all the time, and a couple of them were getting older and was unable. He got back problems. She got cancer. And they wasn't going to be able to go this year. Later on that same year, I was headed out to Colorado, Sturgis, Black Hills area, and the wife was not going to be able to go. I'm thinking, I'm doing all this wonderful writing, and I got friends I want to share this with. So some of my earliest videos are very, very, very bad for the audio because it's nothing more than a GoPro mounted on the bike, capturing everything as long as the battery lasted. And that's how I got started into it because I had all these videos and I run out of storage space. I'm like, honey, what do I do with all this stuff? She said, make a YouTube channel. You can store it and you don't have to keep it on your computer. Okay, great idea. So I started looking around to see who else was doing this and how they was doing it, different camera mounts and everything. And I saw guys get on their bike and just start talking about a subject. I'm like, well, shoot, I've put more miles on in a year than some of these guys put on in their whole riding career. Let's go ahead and do this ourselves. And there you go. Next thing you know, I'm fighting with audio and pulling my hair out. You can see I had a lot of audio problems. And doing vlogs and wondering, what am I going to come up with next week? What am I going to do next week? Come up with a new idea. That's the best. I come up with a new idea. And so I got this. I'm so excited to put it out there. And here's Bodine doing it. Or here's Scouse Adventures has already done it. Or, Road Rash HDR has already done it. And it's like, even when you come up with something new, it's fun to see how everybody else has done it too.
It's kind of a good question for the group if you think about it, Jack. I mean, like, how do we, not we just start motovlogging, but like topics wise, I think I wrote down literally 9 or 10 things that people talked about with topics from, of course, Bodine, people are they want to know your responses to the padded underwear that I sent you guys. They like travel videos, good scenery. A couple people, I think it was Renee, asked about GoPro tips and like software we use, stuff like that. Biggest frustration with non-riders. I believe it was Zedhead. You put 5 things that you like about your bike, stuff like that. So good topics. You can't worry about what other people have done. I mean, it's like when I get out there, and maybe it's a good segue to this, like how you guys come up with topics. It just pops in your head. I know we've discussed this on a couple of the live streams. I mean, being spontaneous is probably the best thing. You're just getting out there and just start talking about stuff. There are a couple things you're going to have to like do a little research on, but for the most part, it's just taking a topic and running with it. And just having fun, and that's what's great about doing YouTube.
Colin, just to add to that, I was watching, I forgot who did the video this a couple days ago that talked about how you should not do a video because somebody already covered that topic, if you will, right? Because you're bringing it from a different perspective, right? You're talking about different things during it. As long as you're not going to people's channels and just copying what they're doing, I don't see a problem with that. I know HDR, there's a couple times where you and I have done the same type of video. And we didn't really want to step on each other. So either I put it out early, you put it a week later, but neither one of us said, let's not put it out, right? Because we have different perspectives and different styles. So I think it still works.
I mean, we
Yeah.
did that on our ride.
Yeah, if anybody realized or noticed when we posted our group ride videos, they all came out at 5 o'clock
Yep.
on whatever night we picked. That was very much organized. We aren't just all on the same wavelength and thought the same way. So, we did that for a reason. We wanted to give everybody choice to see them all without stepping on each other's toes. Me being first or Colin being third. We just all did it at once.
Yeah.
I think it worked out.
A Moto Ramblings is referring to the video I talked about by Boots and Jeans about copying. It's a good watch for sure.
And I wanted to throw one out there about Mr. McStache. When I did my video of gravel tie, have you been gravel ties? I thought of him because he was out with his buddy Jeff, and I think you guys were out west somewhere. There was a dirt road. Jeff geared down to second gear, and you geared up to sixth gear, and you were gone. You're like, I don't like slow people. I just got to go. And he took off. So if you don't watch, go back and watch that video from Mr. McStache. You're going to love it.
I believe it was in Yellowstone.
Yeah, I don't remember what the title was. Do you?
No, I do not. But I know we was in Yellowstone, and I was upset because it cost like $60 a person to get in, and they didn't tell us half the roads were gone.
Wow.
And it was like 6 months after they had the fire, so half the trees were gone. The roads were all gravel. And I have a lot of gravel roads around me, and we go to PA a lot, which is a lot of chip and seal.
Yep.
Well, I'm keep me moving, and we're good. And yeah, JK slowed down because he was nervous, and I'm like, dude, I know you're too slow for me, so I'm sorry, but I got to go.
That was a great video because Mr. McStache is sitting on the road. He's looking at his watch. He's like, well, it's 25 minutes. Where are they? Like he's waiting for them to catch up. So,
hey, can I? I'm going to call out Payne's ride real quick, and I just noticed this too. He said, "Did you notice Mr. McStache is misspelled? Miss Castache?
It's Miss Castache." you can edit that.
Which is your new nickname now?
Mustache?
Castache.
Castache.
All right, move along, guys. We'll keep it going here since I am the host of the Hollywood Squares tonight. Where are we at? There we go. This is one this came from Bodine's mind because I know how he thinks because we spend a lot of time talking together. Oh, there it is. All right, so we'll go first with Mr. McStache.
If I could quit my job and motovlog full time, would you, and why? That's actually a tough question because I'm under review for VA for putting me on disability. So I may be doing that soon enough. No, I've seen some of these guys that are retired that do this on a regular basis. And I mean, I wouldn't think of it as a career, but yeah, I mean, if I retired, quit. But the question is, quit the job. I don't know that I'd quit my job. My wife, like I said, has a in-home preschool, and no, I don't want to be here.
Well, you wouldn't be. You'd be on the road full time. You'd be traveling like Adam Sandoval, and just traveling around with your girlfriend. I mean your
right.
Anyway, you'll be traveling with your buddies out making videos.
Well, I believe I alluded to this one time that Harley needs to find it in their budget to let three guys go ride and have a lot of fun and chit chat. And three couples would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Okay, Mr. Bodine, I know we've discussed this.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I posted a picture on Instagram today that said, I want to quit work and just ride all the time if my wife will let me do it. So if the money wasn't an issue, I'd sell it all, put it in a big old camper that I could drive around and ride every day of the year. So
Get one of campers like Bingo has.
No, not a bingo camper. I want one of those ones that's nice that you like live in and stuff, right? When I'm not riding, right? I don't sleep in a tent. My wife her tenting is the Hilton, so I'm going to have something nice, but I don't think it's going to happen. But yes, I would do that in a second.
I think the question is more along the lines. So if you're making $90,000 a year right now, you'll make $100,000 on YouTube and just do motovlogging. Live your normal life.
Yeah.
Why is it not?
That's like the awesome dream right there. I mean, I'd love to do that. I'd travel the country and do all kinds of stuff. As long as the key thing, what you just said, you get still the money coming in, because a little bit different with YouTube.
Yeah. So if YouTube was purchased by someone that actually wanted to pay us a fair wage, people were like, man, you must make a ton of money on YouTube. Matter of fact, on YouTube, just to give somebody a perspective of that, we did that camping video, and it did very well, right? It had, I don't know, 3,000 or 4,000 views. Miss Dora said, "Oh, great! I'm running out. I'm going to buy some new gold chain or something." I said, "With what?" She goes, "That one video's money." And I said, "It was $1.82. You're not buying much gold with $1.
We're in the dough, buddy."
So,
You're doing this for the love, that's for sure.
so I let her go down the road, and I gave her the $1.82. She got an ice cream cone, and we called it a day. So,
there you go.
But I would do it. I would be more than willing and happy to do that. And I think you're right, Mr. McStache. Harley needs to dig down deep and start looking at these moto vloggers out there riding Harleys and fund them somehow to the point where they'll push their name out, because a commercial on TV of an electric bike and some teenager riding a $30,000 bike is not going to sell motorcycles. So,
Jackie, to answer your question, Jackie, boy asked no beverage shout out. So
we are doing
Fat Tire.
Bodine hates this. Hey, it's can. Look, it's a can.
You're on a diet.
What are you in, like high school?
I am on a diet. And there's a cherry drink. Cherry.
Yes, it's Rip It.
Oh, look at that cup.
Rip It tribute. Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
I actually have a giveaway going right now. Of course, I always do the loot crates, and that's going to be one of the items in the loot crate. So.
Hey, do your dinner plates, when you eat your dinner at night, does it have Mr. McStache logo on them, like you're looking at?
I would have to consult with my promotions guy. He's in the chat room. So
you would be having them pretty soon. You're very well branded.
Yes.
All right, Mr. McStache, we're going to bring another quick one up here for you. We know you recently got a trike. Do you like your wife riding by herself, or do you like the time that you guys have spent? I know you spent a lot of time with her on the back of the bike.
She prefers to be on the back of the bike. I think I prefer her there too. It's kind of like group riding. I love group riding because of the camaraderie of it. On long trips, I prefer having her right here. I don't have to worry about her. I don't have to worry about anybody, when the idiots that are on the road, getting in her way or not seeing her or something along those lines. I mean, but for riding around town, running for ice cream, we have the grandbaby, Baby McStache. We don't want to have to stay home when we got her when we want to go get ice cream. So we modified the back pillions on the seat back there, and she can reach her floorboards, and we go for ice cream with her on the trike, Mama driving and me taking my bike.
All right. One of your better videos and fun videos was you on the back of the trike.
That actually wasn't too bad.
That was a good video. All right, gentlemen, this is for everybody once again. And I don't think. All right, I'll just let this one roll. When you guys are out riding and you're not vlogging, so no cameras rolling, what's on your mind?
According to my wife, nothing. Did you see that stop sign? HCR don't stop at them. Why do I?
Yeah, that's right.
Good point.
They're optional.
Right? Honestly, more times than not, absolutely nothing. I am in the moment. I try not to get too far away, sometimes 1,000 miles away, but no, for the most part, absolutely nothing. I enjoy myself so much on that thing, just loving it.
All right. Bodine.
I wonder what Jack's doing. Or how can I stop this whole diaper, padded underwear conversation with everybody? No, you know what? Listen, triple trees. I bet football champ.
Love it, triple trees.
I could say he's lucky I don't have the button to boot people out, or all these Ohio folks would have to go tonight. But I respect you anyway. You know what, Jack, I'll tell you what, if I'm not thinking about something pressing, whether it's, I hate to say this, something at work or something at home or a trip or something, normally I'm just thinking about how I appreciate riding and how great it is that we're able to do that stuff. Honestly, that's what I think about most of the time when I'm not vlogging.
All right. Colin?
Sex.
What is that?
Sex.
How you can get more of it? Maybe trying to get less, or you're thinking is
Hey, you want me to be honest?
Are you?
No, I mean, Bob, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like usually work. Honestly, when I'm riding, I'm just taking in the sights. I mean, I'm kind of enjoying kind of like what you just. I love riding so much, and even if you're not vlogging, it's just taking things in and like, where can I go? Where can I discover a new road? That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I don't know. You said sex, and I was thinking, oh, his wife must be taking a nap because it's on your mind.
She's outside.
You brought that up on a live show, not us. So it wasn't.
Wait, yeah, what is it? Your birthday?
Is it your birthday? Christmas?
Every day, buddy.
I thought about this the other day because I came home. I told McStache, and I think I did a video on it. I don't know if it's produced yet, but the thing I see is when I'm driving a car, sometimes I get almost all the way home, and I don't remember 2 or 3 of the exits that I went past. Yeah, because you just fog out. You daydream in a car. And I was thinking, I don't normally do that on the motorcycle. I tried to do it the other day and couldn't. I think because we're so wrapped up in the, the safety of riding a bike, I guess. But I don't think about, you guys said work, bad topic when you're riding, man. Unless you're riding to work, right? If you're riding to work, I got to think about it. But once I get out of that door and start riding home, I don't want to think about it anymore.
Hey, Jack, I think you hit it right on the head. I actually did a video that's coming out next week. I had like 3 or 4 bad days. Like it was raining and work was crappy. And I ended up stopping at a local post office to get some something out of my box there. Yeah. And there was this 90-year-old guy that walked in when I was leaving, and he's just like, "Hey, is that your bike out there?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, I used to ride." And he's like, I said, "How's your day going?" He goes, "Oh, it's great." I'm like, "It's hot out." And he's like, "Yeah." I said, "It's better than winter." He goes, "I like winter." And so I went out and got on my bike. He came out. I rode my bike over, and I talked to the guy. And I'm just like, my attitude just changed from having a couple crappy days to realizing, holy crap, this guy's 90 years old, out in 100-degree weather, chatting everybody up, just being nice and telling stories about riding a motorcycle. You're right, man. You got to let that stuff go, right?
Bob, right on. That's cool, man.
Yeah, it was a really cool experience. I'm going to share it on a video. I'm not sure it'll do real well, but I don't care because it was a real cool experience for me.
I mean, just in general, just riding just makes us better. It just keeps us centered, and that's what I love about motorcycling. It just makes you feel good when you get on the bike.
And I think that's funny because it came up in a live stream. If you guys remember a while back, somebody said, "Do you guys ever ride your motorcycle and not record videos?" I put thousands of miles on my motorcycle a year. The other day I was out, I put a quarter helmet on. Quarter? Yeah, I think it's a quarter helmet. I got home and Mrs. HR yelled, "I was calling you. Why didn't you answer me on that Senna thingy?" It wasn't. I don't even have it wired to that helmet. There's nothing on it. I said, "I was trying to clear my head, hon. Part of that is you."
But I missed you.
But I missed you anyway. All right, Mr. McStache, we got one more question for you before we shoot into the rapid fire questions. We know you recently broke down on a trip. I watched a couple videos after this happened of yours this morning. You had to wait for hours in the rain. Can you give the audience some advice on how to help to avoid this?
T-clocks. I know everybody except me has done a video on walk around on the bikes, checking everything before you leave. There's like that actual breakdown. For example, my shifter lever was stripped out. I could have done all the checks in the world.
You would have never found it.
Would have never caught that.
No.
But for the most part, if you do a good thorough before you leave, walk around on your bike, check your air pressures, which you should do. I know we all have ridden to work, and I'm sure we don't do what we should do before we go to work. But yeah, a good walk around, a good cleaning of the bike allows you to get over top of every spot of the bike and look for missing things. If you have spokes, take your wrench and tap each one of those spokes. Just a good overall will help. But sometimes, yeah, you're just stuck on the side of the road.
Hey, Jack, if I can just add on to that, I think Mr. McStache had it right. As much stress as it must have been through that, you still got on video. Good job, man. I really respected that because I'm sure you guys weren't in the best of moods with all that craziness you had. That was a good video. People should go watch.
And you guys had a really good attitude. The one where you talked about, like, what happened and just like, it happens and what you learned from it. I thought that was pretty cool. Both of you.
And watch your current video. I think it's your current one. Is when you and Mr. McStache on the bike talking about all this. And I think I commented back to you this morning, Ashley. I don't know if you came home from the meetup, going to the meetup, and got your trike and headed back out, and then you got a flat tire. Is that what happened?
Yeah, we actually took Ultra Classy to go to the meetup.
Right.
And then ended up 2 hours on the side of the road, like we talked about. Finally got home at like 1 o'clock in the morning. Headed out the next day. We scratched the idea of going to the meetup. We went and got some parts to fix Ultra Classy, and broke down again. We went 10 years on the way to DC, like I said earlier. Some years it was so hot you couldn't get enough clothes off. Some years it was so cold you couldn't put enough clothes on. And in half of that time it was raining. So you wasn't at work. You wasn't worried about, taking care of this or taking care of that. It was a good time. Even the bad time was a good time. And you know what? After that many times of getting stuck somewhere, if it's not you, it's somebody else in the group that's going to break down. If it's not breaking down, we was going down the road one day raining like mad. And the wife's like, we need to pull over. And I said, all right, next underpass, we'll pull over. It's not the safe thing to do, but we'll do it because it's that bad. We get the underpass, there's semis underneath there, and we can't pull over. She's like, what do they know that we don't know? I said, I don't know. The good part is we don't know. So we're going to keep going. But yeah, you just got to, what are you going to do? Cry?
Yes.
Bro, yeah.
I cry a lot, actually.
You taught me a very good lesson. I didn't know you had to pay $50 extra to AAA to cover your towing of a motorcycle. So we are going to get that tomorrow on the policy.
Yeah, that is something we've had since we started doing our trips. I tell you what, you can't beat it.
Yeah, it's peace of mind. I know I got the Harley Davidson roadside assistance through National Hog, and I heard it's not what it's all cracked up to be. So I just want a safety net. Okay, guys. So if you want to start clapping, now would be the time to clap because look what's coming up.
Woohoo!
Yeah, rapid
Fired
fire.
up.
We're going to fire this up. So, Mr. McStache, you watched for the past few weeks. These questions are very much random. Could be anything. Mrs. HDR said, why don't you make a motorcycle related? I said, because it's not as much fun.
Yeah.
So we don't want to do all that. There is some in here.
You tell her.
I tell her like it is.
There you go.
Hold on. Let me resize the screen here.
She's not watching tonight, is she?
She is just pulling in the driveway. I just seen her come down in the car there.
Oh, awesome. And
She's out mowing the grass.
Yeah, I think we got it'll be good getting through these. We all got a lot of questions too, don't we, Colin?
We do. I mean, have you picked up a couple of them? I have like 3 or 4 written down.
Yep.
Because you're a question boy tonight, right?
I was until I saw you writing them. Then I kind of quit and started nursing my beer.
Take it back over.
Yeah, I appreciate you, brother, by the way. Thank you.
Hold on. I'm
Jack,
moving screens around here. Hold on.
Aren't you an IT guy? What's going on here?
I had to take all my stuff back to my old job when I quit. They didn't want me to keep all their monitors, and now I only got the Mac 27.
I don't get that. That's not right.
I know. They should have told me keep them as a severance. I mean, I quit. They should have given me something.
A good kick.
Oh, well. Anyway. Okay, guys. First ones. I know these are in our areas, Colin. I'm not sure if they're in yours. I imagine they are. McDonald's or Wendy's? Mr. McStache.
McDonald's, because we have the grandbaby. She does. We're stuck there.
All right.
Probably neither one of them, but I think probably.
You're driving down the road, you're starving, and this is the only thing available.
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's only because it's a known.
Okay.
But every now and then, Wendy's.
Back in high school, I worked at a Wendy's, and it was the best because, like, at night, I'd fill like an entire bag, like literally a whole bag full of fries.
Oh, nice.
And I'd make these triple chickens with cheese. You know how they have the chicken sandwiches? So I'd make and this is when I was playing football and everything, so I was trying to gain weight. But I'm a Wendy's guy. I mean,
Yeah.
McDonald's, I'm not a big fan of McDonald's, but
Did they have air conditioning back then?
All right. And I do go for the Wendy's. I'm a 4 for $4 guy.
Baconator.
What's a 4 for $4?
The 4 for $4, you get a burger, a chicken patty, or some kind of sandwich. You get 4 chicken nuggets, an order of fries, and a drink for $4. With tax, it's $4.28. Makes a great lunch stop.
Wow.
Not where I'm working now, because I work way out in the country, so we don't have any restaurants out there. All right, Mr. McStache. This came from one of Bodine's topics. I pulled this from his archives.
Uh-oh.
Has riding ever made you late for a family function? Could have been a birthday, a birth of your child,
Birth of your child.
maybe your wedding.
I'm filming a vlog. I'll be
No.
soon.
No, my bike was in the wedding. I took my wife from the marriage thing from the church to the reception hall on the bike. She sat sideways.
That's cool.
But as far as I just didn't show up. Oh, wait. Yes, it has. I'm being told. Yes, I have been. What was related?
You missed the grandbaby's birthday party. Going to buy a new motorcycle seat.
That's important.
That's important.
Yeah, well, it's important. Bodine did a whole video series on that.
Exactly.
Bodine, I know you did a whole video on this. That's where I pulled it from.
You know what? Yes, absolutely. I got in trouble for being late for riding. Not late because Mrs. Bodine's probably about the nicest person you'll ever meet, so she gives me a pretty long rope. But yeah, there's been a couple that I probably should have been there. Birth of the kids, wedding, stuff like that. But other than that, I'm usually pretty good about that, and it's hard not to, right?
Hard not to.
I mean, I don't think I've ever well, let me rephrase this. I've intentionally gone out on a bike to avoid having to go to a couple things.
Nice.
But normally, no. Birthday party for the kids coming up. Oh,
I'm gonna write that one down. Actually,
Hey, you figure too, the birthday party for the kids, don't be that year old the whole year. Why do you have to be there that day of the birthday?
And they'll appreciate you when you get older. You say, I was going to be at your party, but I was riding like you should, right?
I was riding. And this is one that I'll give you guys that I remember. I was late coming back for Thanksgiving dinner. So when Thanksgiving is, it was cold out, but I had one of those days where I had to ride. And yeah, Mrs. H. was not too happy. When I came back and the gravy had that film on, she's like, eat it cold. And I'm like, damn.
That'll be it. Hey, HDR, that's why we love you, brother. Right there. Right there.
You got to go sometimes.
Hey,
all right,
Jack.
here's one. I know Bodine just did this, and I'm sure McStache did. I don't know when the last time Bronco Ride did. Do you change your bike tires when they need it, or do you try to get that last few extra miles out of them?
Well,
So
the
what
last
they
few
need-
miles is when
Okay.
they need it, right?
Well, the last few miles mean I had a buddy come over one day, and he actually slid in the gravel and dumped his bike, and we looked. His tires look like a baby's backside. So that is like you're trying to get more miles out of them. Or do you wait until they get down to the nub and you're like, I got to pay for these now?
No, I have to do tires about once a year. And like as I said, when we go on trips, the wife is with me.
Right.
So when it comes to time, that's a whole different thing. I don't know how you guys are, but like at our house, the nice car is hers. The old beater that's going to leave you on the side of the road, that's me. So yeah, she's getting on the bike. The bike it's done when it's needed done.
All right. Bodine?
By the way, Judy is backing up your wife that says, sometimes we women folk got to serve you cold food to teach you, I think is what she was really saying. But
I
know what?
do 80% of the cooking. Well, maybe
I thought when we needed tires, we were supposed to get another bike. And then what we're supposed to do?
that is true. That does happen.
You know what? I never skimp on tires ever. I think I told you a story. When I bought my Road King, when I was inspecting it, I thought the thing was in great shape. The tires were good. I took it over to get a couple things looked at, and the guy says, your tires are 15 years old. And I said, get them off the bike, right?
Yeah.
At that point, you can't skimp on tires.
I like living. So when a tire gets kind of close to being worn, I'm going to get new ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had people recently contact me and said, you only got 11,000 miles. You're getting a front and back tire?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. When I'm at the dealer and they put that little stick thing in there and go, yep, it's time, I spend the money. Mrs. HR gets upset. Like, you spent $700 for 2 tires. I said, how much is your life worth? And then you're right, Colin, that, it's, if you like living, $700 is really, anybody that's ever told you guys before, and this isn't one of the questions, man, you ride a motorcycle so you can save money, huh? You save money. You don't save any money. It costs you more money.
And spend more.
A lot more. I can get 4 tires on my car for what? $250 mounted?
Hey, HDR, can I interrupt you for a minute?
Yes.
Before I wanted to make sure we didn't get too late. I just want to say congratulations on reaching 4,000 subs.
Hey guys, thanks.
As a grandfather of motovlogging, I appreciate the friendship and actually what you do. And you're my idol when it comes to motovlogging. So congratulations to you.
Hats off, brother.
I could do right now. Thanks, guys. But I could do right now what Miss HR should never do on the bike, right? I didn't know that I was your hero.
Yeah. If you keep singing, that's going to change.
Can we take that back, Bob?
Yeah, that's right. Never mind.
All right, but thanks, guys. I do appreciate that. It is a big milestone. I've been fighting with that number for a while. Hey, Mr. McStache, how often, you just checked about this, how often should people check their tire pressure?
Before you ride.
Every time before you ride?
Every time before you ride. Unless you just got off that bike an hour ago, you better check it before you ride. And I'm saying this on an ultra classic. You've got to pull the bag to check. It ain't worth it. Just check it. I don't have one of them fancy things you guys have. My problem with that would be I'd be watching it going down the road, and when it goes from 40 up to 45 because of the heat, I'd be stopping and taking some air out of the tire. Your tire will last longer. The bike will handle better. You'll be safer. It's just, you guys, anybody that's seen my videos knows I'm not one of them McKaylee 700%ers all the time. I go in half helmets. I go in T-shirts. I break all those rules, but tires is not. You only got 2.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a good segue for the three of us. PMAC, he put on here, hey guys, on the Phobo 2, what does your rear tire pressure go up when you're riding? But it would be more along the lines of this question, because I know all three of us have that now.
You know what, Colin, that happened to me today. I was actually riding, so I run them, I run the 40, 32, 36, something like that, 36. And when I set it on the program, I moved the high down a little bit. And to Mr. McStache's point, I probably shouldn't do that because I got a warning that my front tire pressure was too high, obviously, as it heats up. So I need to go and adjust that. But I cannot recommend those things enough. And for those people that say they don't trust them, I verified it 3 or 4 different times that they were right on.
They are spot on.
Dead on.
In fact,
I got to say that. I called Bodine the other day, too, because I said, hey, I was riding, and my tire pressure now is, I don't know, it's supposed to be 40. It was up to like 53. And I'm like, is that normal? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. Because the tire heats up, I guess it expands. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
that's why some people do the nitrogen, because it's not as it doesn't change as much with the heat.
I used to have it in my Dodge Ram, and I hated it because every time I went to like Sheets and went to the air pump, they never have a nitrous pump. I think these places need to have a nitrous pump.
Put it in the suggestion box. I'll work on it.
All right, thanks. I appreciate that. Moving on. Okay, Mr. McStache, we're going to ask his question. This is an honest question, guys. Where's the most? Oh no, wait. Where are your motorcycle rain suits right now?
In the side bags of Ultra Classy.
Yours and your wife's?
Yes.
Very good. Bodine.
Yeah. They don't.
It's in the bag as well. I hate to admit that's probably because we just came back from a trip But normally I do try to take them with me in the side bag.
Okay.
They're there right now.
Bronco.
Mine is in the saddlebag as well. I keep it there.
All right. And if you guys watched my packing video, Mrs. HR's a saddlebag. Hers is on the right. Mine is on the left. That's where we keep them in there all the time. So, because you never know. You never know. All right, guys. I know all you travel. What's the most important thing in a hotel when you travel? A free breakfast or a hot tub?
This is
So, what do you mean? You don't. There's no choice. If it doesn't have both, we don't go.
Well, right now, most of them don't.
Don't have either one, right?
But you're right, because I like to soak in a hot tub after a long day of riding.
Yeah, I would have to say probably the hot tub, because if you happen to get caught in the rain and it's cold, there's nothing better than warming those bones back up in a hot
You're
tub.
right.
But
Yeah.
we usually try and shoot for both.
Yeah, I do too. Bodine?
I'm not too much of a germ phobic, but I'm not getting in a hot tub unless it's mine. So I would go breakfast.
You are a germophobic, man. What's the matter with you? You wouldn't even take a shot out of my flask after I lipped it. You wouldn't even.
Yeah, but you didn't have your chew out of your mouth yet.
He eats sheets, but he's not getting in a hot tub.
That's right.
I like my frozen sausages, like they serve at those breakfasts, and
Oh,
like the
man.
powdered eggs, and then the
waffle maker.
waffle maker, and you get your yogurt. Oh, breakfast.
Hey, I'll tell you what, man. I traveled for 2 years, 4 out of 5 days, and I'll tell you what, that crap gets old real quick, right? So
I bet.
to Jack, to your point, you find that one hotel that has a nice pool, maybe a gym, and a good breakfast, and that's where you stay all the time.
Yeah. I agree. And I do like the breakfast. We found one place when we were in Tennessee. They actually were set up more like a cruise ship. We walked in, they had omelets made to order, and it was amazing. Right in the city of Nashville. Great time.
I don't see that at Comfort Inn.
You don't get that Comfort Inn?
No,
Especially the one we stayed in.
not the one we stayed in.
No, but we had the best
Western, right?
We had the best front desk clerk out of any hotel I've ever stayed at. She was such a pleasant person.
She had a boyfriend and a husband.
Yeah, she had a boyfriend and a husband. We're not going to talk about this on this show. We will cover that on a topic on the motorcycle. Okay, Mr. McStache, to keep the time flowing along, what is the most important thing on your motorcycle?
My wife.
No, thing, man. That's a human
Oh,
thing.
what do you mean? What I think is the best thing about it, or
No, whatever you think the best thing on it. Best thing on your motorcycle could be your pipes, might be your highway pegs because you can stretch your leg, anything.
I would have to say on the front fender, where I took off the Ultra Classic and put Ultra Classy on there because I had to find somebody to precision cut those, and I had to go have it chromed after that. And
Yeah, that was the best. When you showed me that meetup, that's a classic altogether.
that was a hard fight. So I would say that was probably my most. Yeah, that's probably what I like the best about my.
Yeah, that was a very classy move on your part, sir. I really think that's cool. Mr. Bodine,
Favorite thing about my bike?
the favorite thing you like on your bike?
Wow, I sure love my new seat, but I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, I think changing out the handlebars was the greatest thing I did, and I like the best on my bike. On my limited for sure.
Okay.
I'm a seat guy. That was the best thing I ever did was upgrade the seat. It was
Okay.
got a nice little cushy butt. It's the best.
If you wear one of those underwear, why do you need a good seat?
I have triple thread. I've told you guys this. I have a gel
Triple
seat,
thread.
a gel seat by Saddleman, my Harley hammock, and my padded underwear.
Did you get whipped when you were a kid?
I did. A couple times.
I thought
I'm sorry
about
to bring that up, man.
this long and hard the other day when I wrote this question. The most important thing on my motorcycle to me is the throttle, because I can turn it and go as fast as I want, and I can let off and stop on a dime. So that's the most important thing to me. All right, gentlemen. Do you feel that you are a follower or a leader? And I know, Mr. McStache, you were in the service.
Mm-hmm. As far as the motorcycle,
we want to thank you for your service also, since I on that topic. Go
just
ahead.
doing my job. As far as on the motorcycle and my follower leader for years, I was the bike in the back because I had to fight fastest bike, and typically that's what you're supposed to do is put the fastest bike in the back. But the one guy that led, he was awesome. You could turn him around in a circle blindfolded, beat him with a bat, and he'd find his way home. He stopped riding with us, so everybody looked at me to be the leader, and I started leading a few group rides. And I'll tell you what, I would rather be in the front than in the back any day. Any day. So I'm a leader.
Good point.
On Jack, you talking about on a bike or in general?
I kind of wrote this it was in general. It's in life. Do you feel that you're the leader or are you a follower?
I like to be a leader off the bike, and I think that when I'm riding in a group, I like to be in the middle or at the end. So,
okay, Colin,
Leader in general, definitely. And then when I'm on the bike, I prefer sweeper, which is actually one of the most important positions.
Yep.
Plus, you get great video.
You do.
You do. Everybody's butt. Anyway, in lifetime, I worked for a gentleman one time, and he said, you always want to be a leader of the organization because nobody's going to tell you what to do. I've lived by that rule, and I love that. On the bikes, I like to lead the pack. The day we went out, guys, and we went to the dam and everything, I like leading. The thing is with leading, you have to always watch the people behind you. So,
yeah.
And you're right. You don't get the same kind of video. I got two more for you guys, and we'll go into the other questions here. We have a few more minutes. In life, in general, when buying anything, should you buy something that's the very best, the top brand, the most expensive, or take something that's in the middle? This is anything, motorcycle, a dishwasher, whatever.
That's tough because I want the best bang for the buck. I don't like to spend the most, and I don't want to buy something just because it's the most expensive.
Right.
I would rather buy something that everybody says, yeah, I love this. This is awesome. It's worked for me. And it's either the mid-price range or down in the economy. I've actually been bitten several times with Amazon and eBay and all that because I would rather pay less for it. But yeah.
Okay.
So that's my answer, I guess.
All right. Bob?
I would tell you it depends on what it is and how long I'm going to keep it, what the value is it to me. If it's a television set that I know I'm going to keep 3 or 4 years, I'm going to probably buy the best one I can. If it's something that I'm not going to have for that long, then I'm going to probably buy the best value. I like to have good stuff when it makes sense, but when it doesn't make sense, it's just wasting money. So.
All right. And Colin, I kind of wrote this around you because I know you're in a very big struggle right now.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny. A comment, and what he's talking about, guys. I just did a video on. I'm getting a tour pack because these two guys in these corners here. I'm going to blame you two. I went up to the meetup, and what we did a couple weeks ago when we went to the Allegheny National Forest. And I've always wanted a tour pack. So I did a video on it and and I'm looking at 4 different manufacturers, and I think someone just put in here a second ago about the tour pack. And one comment kind of stood out. They said, you've spent this money on a Harley. Why don't you just go with Harley? But honestly, I mean, it's the quality of there's Advent Black, there's Hogworks, there's Nasty Hog, the 3 other ones that I did. It all depends on, Bob, I agree with what you just said. I mean, it's it all depends. On certain things, I have the mantra, you get what you paid for. So if you're going to get good quality, you're going to have to pay a little bit more for it. But at the same time, though, if something is at least comparable or pretty good quality, and then you trust your friends, you trust people that, on YouTube, I would say Glad Arkansas, I don't think he's in here, but he talked about his Advent Black, and he was very happy with it. And a lot of people that, commented saying there were several other YouTubers that had talked about the Advent Black, and so I don't know what I'm going to do. It's at the end of the day, I want something that's quality. And I want something that, like, I'm a little bit different from you guys because my outlook is I want to use this mainly for when I do long distance riding or I do 2-up riding with my wife. I probably won't keep it on every day, even though everybody is saying you just keep it on. I don't know. I like the look of my Street Glide. I like the look of kind of like the stripped down look. Not that the look of your 2 bikes weren't bad. It's just something that I desire more to kind of have it off.
I was actually offended by that comment.
You want it to be great looking. You got to paint it brown and deep, hard, dark brown.
I am not painting it even close to the colors of your 2 bikes.
Because those 2 bikes are great. So I mean, yours is cute. I mean, go ahead.
Hey, Colin, you know you're right on. I don't know at the end of the day, and your videos were great on that, by the way. People should watch them. I don't know what the difference in the Advent was in the Harley one. You know, my concern.
$300.
How much?
$300. But
So
it's the thing is like you got to weigh it out, dude. I mean, it's like.
And $300 is a lot of money. My concern would be spending that much money and then getting something that wasn't perfect, and you go, crap, I spent that much money and I don't got exactly what I want.
Hey, I spent $30,000 at Harley Davidson, and my bike was not perfect when I got it.
Yeah, great point. Jack.
There you have it, $30,000. And
I look at longevity. I'm going to look at something that's going to last for a long time, and know, it's a good question. It's actually a really good question.
Here's the way I look at this stuff too, guys, is a lot of the companies out there are up and coming, or they may be buying the exact same box that the one Harley is buying. But guys, Harley's does not have a t-shirt company. They don't have a hat company. They honestly do not. They just brand it with a little Harley sticker in there. You know, those companies are making a product for them. So you might be getting the same quality with maybe Advent Black makes the boxes and they sell them to Harley. Who knows?
Yeah.
So,
good point.
You guys know, but the problem is you're costing me, regardless if it's $800 or $1,100 or $1,200. I blame the both of you.
Look, pal, I bought a $30,000 bike because of the guy in the top left corner.
You know, and if you would just break down and get your wife a nice seat that she can sit on and be comfortable, put her arms up on the armrest, get suntans, and go on a trip with us.
You had to freaking plant that in her head. So she's like, I want one of those big freaking wraparound seats. And I'm like, ugh.
That's what happened. That's what happened to Mrs. Bodine. She seen Mary sitting on a seat. She's like, why can't I have a comfortable thing like that? You got this little backrest up my back. You're nasty, Bob. And Bob's like, dude, I got to buy a bike.
Hey, dude, that's not what happened. I was inside getting water, and your wife was there too, and I was getting her water. Meanwhile, you're talking my wife into me getting a new bike.
She said she wanted the more comfortable seat.
Okay.
And now, what does she call it? The Queen Throne? Is that what she calls it?
Every time we ride together now, you know our wallets are going to hate us.
Hey, you know what? All I can say, Colin, is your wife better ride. You get that Harley one.
Yeah, she better ride. She better ride a long way because we're all.
I already told her.
In the pool.
I already told her. I'm like, if I get this, that means your butt's going to be on that bike.
Your butt's going to be on the bike.
Bob told me so.
That's right.
Bronco ride. There's a rack that they have now. You can hang on your wall in your garage to hang. It holds the same as it does on the fender. It uses the same mounting system. I think that's why a lot of people don't take them off, is because they don't have a place to put them.
We'll have to go back to see how that goes, Mr. McStache, because I'm telling you, almost everybody I talk to says you put it on, you never take it off. So
I have a feeling if I get it, it's going to stay on.
Yeah, you'll leave it on because you're going to be like, I used to like the way my bike looked. Now I love it. And you're going to fall in love. And plus, when you go to work, like I throw my briefcase in there, like my laptop case and my lunch. It's so easy. The last question before we go into a couple viewer questions. Do you feel that all fast food restaurants are using real ingredients? Now, by real ingredients, I mean real meat, real spices, real. Is it true? Maybe they're not even using real potatoes, Mr. McStache.
No, I think that stuff's so processed, it's not even funny.
All right. Bob.
Of course it is. It says it is on the internet, so that must be right?
Bob, my health person that has never had ramen noodles or Nutella.
You don't even know how to say it. You haven't had it either.
I don't eat it because it tastes like garbage.
No, I don't believe any of it is pure stuff. Absolutely not. And by the way, so Rob and the lady bikers worked at McDonald's. She's saying nope in caps. Colin, you worked back when they didn't have air conditioning in Wendy's. Was it real then?
Dude, that's a big fat no. Big news.
No way.
Hey, there's a national beef shortage,
No.
and McDonald's don't run out of hamburgers. What are they making them out of?
Ugh.
Just putting that thought in everybody's head out there. So go eat up at McDonald's. Wendy's is real beef, because that old lady say, "Where's the beef?" And they say, "It's right here, ma'am."
So I guess our sponsorship for fast food places is now off the table.
Gone.
Goodbye. Okay, Colin, since you're writing the questions down.
No, wait a minute. How did I get wrapped into this, Bob? You have some of. I know there was one. I think it was Triple Trees. You wrote, and this is the one I have. Do you guys think an intro to a video is important?
McStache.
Yes, but I think mine's too long.
Yes, it's got to be under 10 seconds, or you're making a mistake.
Sometimes. I mean, I have one. It's the same one I've used for a couple of years, but I'd say I do it one every 4 videos. So, I mean, it's nice as long as, like, I think whoever just said it's got to be under like 5-6 seconds tops.
I am kind of on the same boat as I have a couple. Sometimes I use them. Most times I do not, because I believe that when you click on a video and it says it's from Harley Day Rider, it's pretty evident that it's from me. I don't need an intro to reintroduce myself. Next question.
I'm getting old. I forget.
Bob, did you write anything down? Did you do your job?
Like 10 questions, Don. Are you putting me under? Yeah, I do. Why is Bodine being more attentive than Colin is? No. Next vacation, Brian asked, what's our next vacation, guys, and our next ride? And are you going to keep it secret like you tried to do the last one? Next question. What's two of them? What's my favorite vacation place? I think we talked a little bit last week, but I think this is the first time I remember seeing Brian on who asked the question. To me, I loved going down to Florida and riding for Bike Week, but honestly, the 3 days I rode with these guys was pretty cool too. So,
are you asking if we have any upcoming vacations? Was the question?
Yeah, but I'm passing on that one.
But you know what? I wanted to throw it out there to everybody in the chat room, so you guys hear it first, because you're here live with us each week. There's going to be this big meetup next year, and Bronco is organizing the whole thing. We talked him into it.
Right there.
He told me one time, he's like, "So I'm not sending questions to you." He goes, "I am the greatest organizer known to mankind." And where'd he go? He disappeared. His face is not there. But he's going to organize it next year.
I'm not in charge.
Anyway, so
we are doing that. Yeah, we're talking about doing that next
year. We're talking about something. We want to do a give back weekend or something where we can visit with everybody.
Amen.
What was the question? Our best trip, Bronco? I guess you're.
What was it? What was my best trip, or where I'd want to go on vacation? What was it, Bob? Again?
How fantastic was it hanging out with Bodine on your last trip?
That wasn't the question.
No, it said, what's your favorite vacation place?
In general, out west, I think, because I grew up there. I love going to the mountains of Colorado. It's amazing in the winter and in the summer. So that would be my top spot. I'd love to go there every couple of years.
McStache?
I'd have to agree. I've been out to Colorado, Black Hills, Sturgis, that area. Unbelievable. It's there. You get into the Black Hills. I mean, you're riding in this flat area. All of a sudden, you come up on the Black Hills, and it's like another planet. It's yeah. That's what I would have to say. I got to get the wife out there. Needles Highway, all that stuff is awesome.
Yeah, I think I would do the same. I'd go back out to Sturgis, Wyoming. We wanted to go further out. We talked about going to Yellowstone. So I think that's going to be an up-and-coming trip. But next year, myself and McStache is planning a 3-week trip down Route 66 all the way to the West Coast. She's not thrilled about being on the motorcycle for 3 weeks because 2 weeks is kind of hard to live that way. But I'll talk her into it because I got great charm and really good looks.
I would love to do that. I would love to take 2 weeks off and go coast to coast.
Let's do it, guys. Hey,
all right, I'm in.
Jack, Donna Main actually said, he has an intro that's 36 seconds. I will tell you, it's just my opinion that it should be short. I actually have a video that's a minute long, and I will tell you, I hardly ever use that one. If I ever use that one, it's normally on a short video.
Okay.
But I think in general, people will tell you the shorter the better. But that's just how I do it.
Well, you know what? Though,
doesn't make it right.
Honestly, what happens a lot of times is people put a lot of effort in building intros. I mean, I'm talking hours of editing, and most people scrub through them and get to the topic. So just like you fast forward on the TV.
As long as they scrub all the way to the end.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
Let's all do 5-minute intros on our next videos.
Okay.
Yes. And then not have a video.
And not have a video.
Okay.
Didn't have a 10-second video. That's a great idea.
That's a good idea. Any other questions we can answer real quick?
I didn't have any more. I mean, I talked about it earlier. In the beginning of the live stream, guys, Jack asked if you joined late, what are some great moto blogging topics? So I'm going to go over them again with you guys. The first one, Bob, because we brought it up earlier, and I'm not intentionally bringing this up. How between you and Jack, do you guys like all the padded underwear that I gave you? We love travel videos, so they really enjoy the travel videos. Good scenery, things that you like about your bike, or 5 things you like about your bike. Destination riding, like picking a destination and going is a great video. Biggest frustration with us non-riders, and then a couple people wrote in there details on GoPro video preferences or settings or software that you use. And I know a couple of us have done videos on. I know I have, and I think you guys have as well. It's kind of like what you do for your equipment and what you use. So if you search our channels, you'll be able to find that. But thank you guys. I think that was awesome that you brought up all those topics. I know I might have missed 1 or 2, unless Bob, you picked up any, or is that when you delegated it back to me?
Exactly. I do have a confession. So today I wore my jacket when I was riding. No, I put on the padded underwear diaper that Colin sent Jack and I to ride with, because he swears they are comfortable. Are you waiting for the answer, Colin?
Waiting for the answer.
Patience is good. So after I left the doctor's office, and he said, the rash will go away in a couple of weeks. Overall, they were pretty comfortable. But it wasn't a big difference on a long ride. Maybe it could, but God, I hate to admit this.
I was right.
All right, we'll go and close the show out tonight. Mr. McStache, your final thoughts.
Ride safe, ride often. If you don't have your wife on the bike with you, encourage her to do it. That's why I enjoy us so much, even when we break down, is because I have my best friend, my partner with me, and it gets no better than that to me.
Mr. Bodine.
Yeah, hey, just a huge thank you to Mr. McStache. Go check out his channel. It's like anything. You get used to people. There's Mrs. McStache. Hello. She's definitely the prettier of the two. But you know what? The bottom line is, not only does he have good content, but they're good people. And at the end of the day, we all like hanging out with good people. So go check his channel, and I'm sure that Jack will put that link in the description so you can go check him and his channel out. So thank you, Mr. McStache.
You guys have already said enough superlatives about McStache's channel, so I appreciate that you two joined as well. 1 and then 2 at the very end. So welcome aboard, Mrs. McStache. Thank you guys, and as always, HDR and Bodine, my friends. I enjoy doing this every week, and hopefully we keep it going. We don't have any plans to stop anytime soon, and I was glad to be here tonight.
Thanks, Mr. McStache. Once again, thanks to Mrs. McStache, who the greatest gift that anybody gave to me was when we was at that motorcycle meetup, and Mr. McStache held his phone up and he said, "Honey, listen to this voice." I talked. She goes, "Is that HDR?" That gave me the greatest feeling for somebody just to recognize my voice out there. So I appreciate you guys, Mr. McStache. I appreciate you being on. And to you guys, my friends, always every week we talk a lot through the week, and this gives us a chance to see each other. But I want to say one thing to everybody out there right now in Sturgis, all your great videos I've been watching. I know a lot of you follow our channel. You suck. No, I'm not. That's not true. Actually, what I wanted to say was thank you so much for taking your laptops and posting videos as it's happening and doing live streams. That's been great. I hate to see when somebody comes home, 4 weeks from now, and I'm still watching Sturgis videos, and it's been over for 6 months. Exactly. That's no fun. You guys are doing a great job, a great bang-up job. We appreciate you being out there for us.
Good call.
All right, guys. Thanks, everybody, once again. I'm going to wrap it up, close it out. Cheers to everybody. We'll see you next
Cheers.
time here.
Cheers, guys. We'll see
Mr.
you.
McStache, we'll see you guys.
Good night, everyone.
Take care and good night to everybody. Have a good evening. Bye-bye for now.
Good night.
Bye.